It was supposed to be a simple summer evening. I was just doing what I always did after work, grilling burgers for dinner. Our old gas grill, which had been in the family for as long as I could remember, had been sitting unused for months. After my wife's sudden passing, I hadn't had the heart to use it. But now, feeling a strange mix of nostalgia and need for normalcy, I decided to fire it up. As I cleaned off the dust and cobwebs, I found something odd. A small, rusted key was lodged between the grill's side panel and the base. It had a peculiar inscription on it, an elaborate, almost illegible script. I shrugged it off as a forgotten relic from some past maintenance. The first night was uneventful. The burgers came out perfectly, but the grill had an unsettling feature, a persistent, low hum that seemed to increase with every use. It wasn't just in my head. My neighbors even commented on it, saying they'd heard strange noises coming from our backyard. Then things started to change. I'd come home to find the grill's cover ajar, even though I'd always closed it tightly. The hum grew louder, more insistent, and every time I grilled, the flames seemed to dance with an unnatural intensity. One night, I was finishing up grilling some steaks when I noticed the keyhole on the side of the grill for the first time. It had never seemed significant before, but now it seemed to beckon me. Curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to try the key. It fit perfectly. The grill emitted a low, almost imperceptible groan as I turned the key. I felt a shiver run down my spine. The flames inside flickered wildly, casting grotesque shadows across the yard. The smell of burning meat was replaced by something more acrid, sulfur and rot. I tried to shut it off, but the knobs were unresponsive. The flames roared higher, and then I saw it. A grotesque figure emerging from the grill. It was made of fire and shadow, its eyes hollow voids, its mouth a jagged line of darkness. It moved with a jerky, unnatural grace, as if it was struggling to maintain a physical form. Panic set in. I tried to pull the grill away from the propane tank, but it was as if it was fused to the ground. The figure reached out, and I felt an icy grip around my heart, squeezing the breath out of me. The world went dark. I woke up in my bed, drenched in sweat. The grill was gone. My backyard was clean, with no signs of the previous night's events. I convinced myself it was a nightmare, a product of stress and grief. But then, things got worse. Over the next few days, I began to notice disturbing changes. My reflection in the mirror seemed to distort at odd angles. I'd catch glimpses of the shadowy figure out of the corner of my eye. Sometimes at night, I'd hear the low, humming sound from the grill, even though it was gone. I tried to forget it, but the nightmares continued. Every night, I was back at the grill, watching as the figure emerged and reached for me. I'd wake up in terror, feeling as though I was on the verge of being pulled into some otherworldly abyss. I sought help from a paranormal investigator who confirmed my worst fears. The grill had been a vessel for a malevolent spirit, bound by a dark ritual. The key was a conduit, allowing it to reach beyond its prison. My use of the grill had broken the barrier between our world and the entity's realm. The investigator managed to perform a cleansing ritual, but the damage was done. The spirit had found a way into my life. I could no longer escape the feeling of being watched. My once peaceful home had become a place of dread. I've since moved away, but the nightmares persist. Sometimes in the dead of night, I swear I hear the faint hum of the grill. The shadows seem to move on their own, and the cold grip of the entity feels as real as ever. If you ever come across an old grill with a strange key, just walk away. There are some things that should remain locked away, and some horrors best left undiscovered. Believe me, you don't want to find out what's lurking behind that lid.